right, it is time for some jiu-jitsu time.
1 hour later.
Workout is done. And it only got submitted 3 times. All right, so now you get to see where I live and why. And I live way out there up in the hills. You ready? Let's go. Hey, what is up? All right, so so this is where I live. We have about 20 acres in Central California. This is just a little small portion of it. But so why did we move out here? We moved out here for for a number of reasons, but mainly because so the initial reason was because our family was growing. So at this time, about 3 years ago, we had 6 kids. Now going on 8. And in where we were at, we loved it. We lived in Buena Park, California, right near Disneyland, right near Knott's Berry Farm. It was great. We had mother-in-law, all that. We had mother-in-law, father-in-law nearby, my mom, my grandma, and my family nearby, and it was great. We had a great support system. It was wonderful. However, it was extremely cramped. It was extremely cramped, right? Right, Lumine? Where'd you go? Lumine, come back. Up. The girls are here. So it was extremely cramped. Say hi. And yeah, it was just really hard to live, and that's not really the way we wanted to live. You know, our kids. I remember growing up, and I would be out riding my bike. I'd be out in the middle of the street with friends and so on and so forth. But on our block, and it seems to be on a lot of other blocks, there's just not a lot of kids anymore. And so when my kids would go out, there would be nothing really. And so, yeah, it got super, super cramped. And so we wanted to move out here for that. That was reason number 1. And I'll get to reason number 2 in just a second. I got some fresh broccoli and cabbage and stuff growing. So reason number 2 was my business was remote. I don't really have to be anywhere specific for my business. And with that, I thought, why not try our hands at being self-sufficient and starting our own homestead, right? And start growing food, selling the food, and everything like that. So you can see the coop back there. That's our chicken coop. That was actually made by me and my father-in-law. Sorry, my father-in-law and I. I had to learn a lot. It was crazy being out here. I didn't realize how hard it is to do a homestead. It is extremely difficult. So if you're wanting to go to the country, just know it is very hard if you've never done any type of manual labor. If you've done construction and things like that, you're going to have a much easier time. I was not that way. These beautiful hands were very smooth and supple and never, ever did any manual labor up until about a few years ago. Okay. But yeah, so I wanted to try our hand at being self-sufficient, right? And so like doing everything from running water. There was no water that ran over here, so I had to build and dig a trench 300 feet that way, run PVC pipe, which I've never done before. What are you guys doing? Crazy. Got it. You know, taking care of chickens, all of that other stuff. Not something that I had ever done in the past. Retaining wall. I have a retaining wall over on next to the chicken coop. All first time. We have our cat house up here where we just got some feral cats. You just saw the last episode or 2. Got our feral cats. Built that. That was the first time I ever built a gabled roof. before. So gabled roof with a composite roofing and all that other stuff. First time I ever did that, right? And then garden enclosure, house, and all that other stuff up there. Never did it before. So we wanted to try and become self-sufficient. We have our garden up there. We have our eggs. We have our rat catchers. Over here, I'm gonna put some llama pens, gonna put some goat pens, and so on and so forth. We have about 5 acres fenced off around here, and then I'm gonna go on a walk with Luna on the rest of the 20 acres right now before we get on to reason number 3 why we moved out here. Hold on 1 second. Good job feeding those eggs, boy. And thank you for your help too. Thank you for your help. And so number 3. I mean, really the number 3 reason, this is not what my wife would say. My wife would have her own list of other reasons why we moved out here. But at least for me, I was always of the belief, and it came true. It's definitely true from what I can see and from being out here, is that it's much easier to go from country mouse to city mouse than it is to go from city mouse to country mouse. The stuff that you learn here in the country is priceless, and it's great because it actually provides a huge constraint for my business that helps. I mean, being a systems consultant and being, you know, having virtual systems architects and all that other jazz at prosulum.com, prosulum.com, or freedomin5minutes.com. Having those, like, it's crazy because it really does constrain you, and so you have to build systems out here. We were lugging water like 300 yards every day, and just every day to go and to water the chickens. It was, and so I had to learn how to run water. You have to learn how to take care of your animals. You have to learn what do you have around you. You know, there are some things that are dangerous, and in fact, there are some things that are even good, like these over here. I would have never known in the city, at least I just would never have gotten the time. This is miner's lettuce. You can actually take this and, yummy. We actually have made salads out of this. So we let it grow and we eat. But that, and so we recently had a power outage over here. And let me tell you, if you have a big power outage in the city and Walmart goes completely dead, and you have no food supply, it is rough. And it was much easier being out here and knowing that, you know, we could still get by, even though we might have to get generators, we might have to get all these different things. You know, so to me, it's you learn so many lessons out here that you just can't learn otherwise. And to go from here out to the city is extremely easy compared to going from the city to here. It's a huge learning curve. And so for me, that was number 3. Don't ask my wife what it is, but that was one thing that I wanted to give my kids, is that leg up when it came from here to the city. If you can do anything here, and you can educate yourself, and you can run if they can run a business remotely from here and then go out into the city, that business is going to be far better than most businesses out there that rely on fixed locations, everything being a certain way. So that is number 3. Those are just some of the reasons why we moved out here. And I wanted to share this because it just shows you a little bit of the world that we live in and where the business comes from and why things are the way they are. We try to keep them simple, try to help our customers to keep things simple, and so on and so forth. And where I live, walk this every day. This is our Luna walk, if you listen to the podcast. Where we live is directly affects the value that we bring to our business and to our customers. So just a little bit of insight to why we moved out here into the country. So this is Dean Soto with prosulum.com, prosulum.com, and freedomin5minutes.com. And I'll see you in the next video.